Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle that is almost certainly very appropriately named. This is Kryptonite by Pallando, and this is a puzzle where he basically starts out by saying, "Are little killer clues your kryptonite?" And the answer is yes. Little killer clues are often my kryptonite. I am very, very bad at them. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing just how much I can get stuck on this one. And I'm sure that lots of people in the comments below will point out how much I get stuck at them. Pardon me. So, before I get onto the puzzle, I'm going to mention that we are now 4 days away from the end of the Save the Galaxy puzzle adventure. So with only 4 days to go, if you haven't started, there's still heaps of time. A lot of people have, in the first 4 days, finished the puzzle adventure. I think I had 19 or something complete submissions in the first 4 days. So a lot of people have been able to do it in that time, including some novice setters. The puzzles are approachable. I won't say they're easy, but they are definitely approachable by people of varied skill sets or skill levels. And you do not need to complete all of the puzzles in order to submit. If you complete only a couple of the puzzles, there will be ways of submitting solution codes for just those puzzles and still be in the running to win a prize. So all of the details are in the pack. Details for the pack are below. Also below is the link to this puzzle, Kryptonite by Pallando. So this is basically, from what I can tell by reading the rules, where it says that are little killer clues your kryptonite, you are not their only victim. Those tiny diagonals have captured Superman and only you can save him. There seems to be a theme about saving things at the moment. So what we need to do is to try and figure out if we can solve this grid and save Superman, because he always needs saving. So there are 4 rules in play. There are normal Sudoku rules. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 are placed without repetition. I'll get to the horrors at the end. We have diagonal along the indicated diagonals, and yes, I know some of them are hidden behind the thermos. That's just the way it renders. Along the indicated diagonals, digits 1 to 9 must also be placed without repetition. We have these Kryptonite thermos. The Kryptonite thermos, and I know it's supposed to be the little killers that are Kryptonite, but I had to make this look pretty. It's just the way I work. Along the thermos, digits must strictly increase from the bulb to the tip. So this will be higher than this, this will be higher than this, this will be higher than this. And then we've got the little killer clues. So, which means that along these diagonals, and I don't mind making these the green things because let's face it, the thermos are actually where the little killer clues are. Along these diagonals, the digits must sum to the digit that is outside the grid. Digits can repeat along here if allowed by other rules. So those 5 digits will sum to 28. Those 5 digits will sum to 23. Those 5 to 29, these 5 to 29, and these 5 to 37. And with that, this grid is solvable. Is it solvable by me, or will I also get caught in the same trap as Superman? We are about to find out. I'm a huge Superman fan from like 1987 to about 2004. I think I bought every Superman comic, and they're sitting in a box in the garage, and I haven't read them in a long time. Maybe I should. Let's give this a shot. So 1, 2, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Yeah, that's going to be a thermo. I am going to put digits onto 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7. What am I doing? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that's a big start, because that 3 there meant that could not be a 3, so it had to be a 4. So that's put some pressure on this 37 little killer, surely. So these sum to 21, so these have to sum to 16. There are only 2 ways of making 16. I can use 7, 8, 7, 9, or I can use 8, 8. And these are in the same box, so I cannot use 8, 8. That's a 7, 9 pair. And we know the order, because this is a thermo. That is a 9, and that is a 7. So that is one of the little killer clues defeated. This 28, we've already got 17 on it. So these must sum to 11. Yes, 11. There's a lot of ways of making up 11. Now, I can't use a 1. So the minimum I can put here is 2. If I go 3, 4, 5... 3, 4, 5 is math. Me failing at math. 3, 4, 5 is 7 plus. That's too many. 3, 4, 5 doesn't work. This has to be a 2, which means this is a 1. Now, 2 means that I now have 19, and these have to sum to 9. So I'm either I can't use 1. This is on a Thermo. So this is either 3, 6, or 4, 5. And this has got to be higher than 5. So 6, 7, 8, or 9. I'm probably ignoring Sudoku because I've only really looked at the thermos so far. 29, and those two have to be under 7. So these have to sum to 22. I'm trying to do this in my head rather than jumping to my calculator. Because if they're my kryptonite, I should try and learn how to deal with them. These are too short for me to feel like I should just put all the candidates on them. Unless I can restrict them in another way. Well, 2 is up here. Because 2 is knocked out of all of those. Actually, this is a 2-6 pair, because 6 is knocked out of those. So this is a 2-6 pair, which means this is 1, 2, 4, and 5. This is not 4, this is not 5. Don't forget the diagonals. Oh, that 2 is making this a 1. That's not putting a restriction on that, but that might put pressure on this. Actually, this is under pressure now. This is under a lot of pressure now because I can't use 1 or 2. So this starts with a 3. So the minimums here are 3, 5. That's now forced. 3, 5, and 6 because I couldn't put 1 and 2 on this diagonal. Couldn't put 4 there. This had to be 7. So this had to be 5, 6 because of this diagonal restricting what could go in those two cells. So that became forced. So now, along here, I've got 18. These have to sum to 11. Well, I can't use 2, 9 because that's too far along. I could use 3. No, I can't use 3 here. Can't use 4. 5, 6 is possible. And then I start doing decreases. This must be 5 and 6. Which takes 5 out of there. So this becomes 1, this becomes 4, this becomes 5. Four is now down here somewhere. 5. 1 is in one of those two. It's times like this I often feel I need to stop and refocus and figure out what the heck is going on. So this is now 2, 3, or 4. How is this going to work now? So this is 6, so I need to get to 17. So if this is 2, these would have to be 15, which I could do with 9 and 6. Are any of those not permitted? This is the sort of math I am bad at. These are still summing to 9. And these are summing to 17. Well, this isn't a 3. So this is 2 or 4 because of that 3. Does 296 break anything? It would put 9 there. Trying to see if that breaks any of the diagonals or anything, and I'm not obviously seeing it. Maybe I need to do some Sudoku. 6 goes in one of those two. 5 is in one of those two because it has to be in here, but it can't be on the diagonal. So these are 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this is 7 or 9 because it can't be 6 or 8. This is 8 or 9 because it sees 6 and 7. It has to be along here, doesn't it? Because the thermos are now done. Whatever I put in here, every other digit along the thermo is either in the gap or higher than. Two, 3, 7, 8, 9 are what is missing from this diagonal. I'm actually going to do that because I'm seeing a few conflicts, because that can't be 7 or 8. That can't be 3, 7, or 9. That can't be 3. Yeah, okay. And this one is... Okay, so those ones I'm not going to pencil mark, but these two were more restricted. What am I missing? This is a question I ask myself every day. 5 is there. 5 is in one of those two. It's got to be this, doesn't it? The little killer is being my kryptonite. I don't want to just go to my calculator. There's no repeated digits here, so I could just treat this as a 17 kilocage. But I don't want to go to my calculator. I also don't want to waste everyone's time. So 2, 9, 6 is a possible. 4 would mean these sum to 13, which would be 7, 3, 8, 5, but I couldn't use the 9 then. 7, 6, or 8, 5. So all of those options seem to be possible. Okay, so I've got a quad down here, which is 2, 6, 7, and 9. That's not 9. There's no 6 in there. There's no 6 in there. This is a 6. 2, 7, 9. This being a 6 means that there's a 6 in here somewhere. This is now 7 or 8. And we've got a 7, 8, 9 on that diagonal. This becomes a 6. Is that going to do anything? Puts a 6 up here. We've got 6 in one of those two. Actually, this is not a 2. How did I ever think that was a 2? 2 is in here. Now, these are 2, 7, 9. If this is 2, this is 2. This is 2. There can't be well, there can be a chain like that. I'm just trying to figure out if I've got enough information for it. One of these has to be a 7. So I've got 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Four is not in there. This is a quad. Let's look at this quad. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, and 9. This is not 7. It's close, but no banana. 1. I feel if I can restrict any of those or even one of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So 2 is in one of those. What the heck am I missing? That's a 2. 2 goes down here and this becomes a... Yeah, well, that doesn't... Right. Just do that by looking at the cells. One is in here and one is in here. Which means one is in here. One is up here. The only place I don't have one... Oh, that's a little tricky. So one in this box can't go in those. So it has to go in one of those 4 cells, which lines up with one going into those 2 cells, which means this cannot be a 1. If I put 1 there, I've broken it because that means I have to put 1 in to those cells in those boxes and I'd have a conflict. So this becomes a 1, this becomes a 5, which means this is a 5, which means this is a 6, and that gets me something on this little killer. I have no idea if that was the intended path, but it's a thing. So now I have 12 along this, and these need to sum to 11. So I need either 9, 2, or 7, 4. This is no longer an 8. However, I do know what this is, because 8 and 9 is 17, 19, 25. This is a 3. And it still didn't break it open. Well, it did mean that that's a 6. And it means that that's a 6. So I think that's all the 6s. Yes, I have hit all the 6s. Three, 4, 8, not sure. So this is not a 3 anymore. So in here I'm missing, this is not a 9 anymore. So what am I missing in here? 2, 4, 7 and 8. So these are 2, 4, 7 and 8, and that's not restricted at all. So we know 9 is in one of those, which means like that can't be a 9. 8 is in one of those. Which means 8 is in one of these, but I can't see how to lock that down. What is I missing? And these sum to, I'm just getting the math in my head again, these sum to 11. So 9, 2 or 7, 4. If this is 9, 2, this is 8, this is 7, this is 3. Nine, 2, 3, 8, 9. No, 9, hang on, 9, 2, sorry, 9, 2, 3 makes this 2, makes this 8, makes this 7. These would be 1, and 9. So 1 would be here, 9 would be here. No, I'm not. Something odd? What about 7, 4? That seems a lot less constrained. I'm curious about the interaction between those cells. I really am. Okay. What have we got in here? 1, 2, 4, 7, and 8. So this is 4, 7, 8. Two is in one of those two. hang on, 1, 2, 4, and 8. So this is 2, 4, 8. This is 2, 4, 8. This is not 2. I've had that for a while. Four has to be in one of those two, which puts 4 in one of those two, which puts 4 in one of those two. This is not narrowing anything down. What is the simple thing I have missed? Because there will be something ridiculously simple I have missed. If this is 8, or if this is 9, this is 7, this is 4. This is 7. Oh, it's that. 7 has to go on this diagonal. If this is 9, this is 7, and this is 7, and there is nowhere to put 7 in box 9. That's 8. That's 7. That's 9. This is not 7. Puts 8 down here. That's got to give me something more, please. I mean, it doesn't resolve this, but it has resolved that diagonal. This is not 7 anymore, so 7 is in one of those two. So these are 1, 2, 3, and 9. So this is 1, 2, or 3. So 9 is in one of those two. 1, 2, 3, 9. Five is limited to those two now, which places a 5 here. Again, this is the same trick as I had before. 5 in this box must go in one of those two cells. 5 in this box must go in these two cells. So I can't put 5 in any of those, and I can't put 5 there. So that makes this a 5. Hang on, I've got too many digits here. Yeah, I can take 9 out of those, which means this must be the 9, which makes this the 3, which makes this a 2, which takes 2 out of those, makes this a 9, and this makes this a 7, and I've finally resolved the little killers. Kryptonite chains broken, Sudoku chains found. This has become an 8, this is a 4, this is not an 8, so I've got a 3-7 pair, this is a 7, this is a 3. So this is now, that's the only place left in the row for a 4, so I take 4 out of there. 2, 8 makes this a 7, which I could have just gotten from the row. The 2 now makes this an 8, and this is a 2, and that's the 2 on the diagonal. These on the diagonal are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And the 9 up there makes that the 7 and that the 9. I could have used the 7 in the column as well. So we are making some solid progress now. The question is just how tricky is the Sudoku? And where is most constrained? It looks like column 8 is pretty constrained. I need 2, 3, 4. 2 and 4. Well, that's resolved fairly promptly. Row 5 needs 1, 3, 8, and 9. So this is 8 or 9. And this is 1, 3, or 8. Well, that 2. What am I talking about? That is 6. I am talking about Sudoku. In case you haven't been here before, this is a channel about Sudoku where I talk and try and solve Sudoku puzzles. I have bad humor. 1, 3, and 8. This is 3 or 8. This is 1, 3, or 8. 9 comes out of those, so this becomes a 2, 7 pair. The diagonals are fully resolved. The thermos are fully resolved. The little killers are fully resolved. This is just me down to failing basic Sudoku. 1, 2, 5, and 8. 2 and 8. Oh, crikey. So I've got to put a 3 right there. So this is also 2, 5, or 8, and it can't be 2. So this is a 5, 8. 4, 5, 8, 9. So this is 4 or 5. Is this the only place in this box for a 2? No, there's already a 2 in the box. That is not a 2. 1. So I've got to put a 2 over here. This is a 2, which means this is a 4, which means this is a 5, which means this is a 1, which means this is an 8, which means this is a 9, which means this is a 4, which means this is a 1, and this is not a 1. This is a 3, this is an 8. There is no 9 there. This is a 1, 3 pair. Some progress. This is a 1. This is an 8. There is no 8 there. There is no 8 there. This is a 3. I can take 3 out of there. This is a 2. This is no longer a 2. In fact, that's a 5 and that's an 8. That's a 7. That's a 2. This is a 7. There is no 7 in those. That becomes a 2, 4 pair where I can just put in the 4 and the 2. All I needed to do was to find the right bit of information, which is true in almost everything we do. This is a 9. The 3 makes this the 1 and this the 3. The 1 looks down, making this the 8. And the last digit, I believe, is a 1. And that looks good to the computer. So, little killer clues were kind of my kryptonite, as was diagonal and basic Sudoku. I did the thermos okay. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you gave that one a shot. That was a really fun puzzle by Pallando and taught us some really nice logic, I thought. If you're after some other really nice logic, as I said, there is still 4 days left on the Save the Galaxy puzzle adventure if you want to win a prize. And if you're not that worried about the prize, then it will still exist until, I don't know, the internet dies or my internet accounts get cancelled for some reason, which, considering I don't pay for all of them, hopefully will be never. So the puzzles will be there. Grab them, do them. The feedback has been amazing. Jump onto the Discord and tell the other setters how awesome the puzzles were. Some people have been doing that, and I know it gives everyone a thrill. If you need help, jump onto the Sudoku Solvers Discord. Links for that are below, and jump into the Bremster discussion channel and ask for some help. We're only too happy to provide it. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't say this very often, so if you're not subscribed, please do, because it really does help YouTube promote the channel, and promoting the channel means I can bring more puzzles. Like the video if you liked it, because again, that means YouTube will promote it. But most importantly, and I cannot say this with enough enthusiasm, good luck with your solving.